I'm Phil. I'm Nilden.
I'm Raz.
I'm gonna bust his ass.
I'm Brandon.
Slide jobs by the dozen out here.
Hello, this is Thomas.
Here. Pisser.
I'm John.
Sit down the back straightaway for the final time.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
This is the Dirty Slider Podcast. Don't let a slider get your ass kicked. All right, Slider Nation, welcome into another episode of the Dirty Sliders Podcast. This would be the Sammy Hagar I Can't Drive number 55. It's cool. We're putting up some numbers as far as getting a lot of podcasts under our belt. We're gonna go around the horn with the four of us that are here tonight, and
That's a great sound.
cheers. And talk about some of the off-season stuff that is already happening, might be happening, rumored to be happening, going into next season. There's just not a lot, but what's there we're going to cover. So we're going to start with Thomas. You have some news about Lucas Oil late model, and I'm assuming World Outlaws late model too, right?
I mean, I didn't go into World Outlaw, but there is some, to start it off with, there is going to be some World Outlaw in there. So typically, as you guys have seen in the past, World Outlaws and Lucas Oil will start their speed weeks in January, February, down there in the Florida, Georgia area. Kind of running, not against each other, but running consecutive weekends, and then you get 15, 20 teams that announce for both series, and then kind of where they fall out after that speed weeks is what series they're going to align with and go for the rest of the season. This year, Lucas Oil has delayed that February start or for their speed weeks, which has caused an instant clash with World Outlaws where they're pretty much going to be running against each other on the opening night. So whatever drivers you see aligned to or signed up for is probably where they're going to be for the year because of that. Well, when it comes to super big news, I mean, I think the biggest thing that, and this was kind of recent, was Joseph Joyner was was offered the ride in the number 19 JCM Motorsports late model with the Lucas Oil series full-time next year. You guys noticed, you've seen him in a few races like Eldora at the end of the year for the World Finals and that few things. He has opted to turn that down and continue with his family operation, continue with the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series and continue doing that. I think it's awesome that he was offered the opportunity, but I fully understand where he's coming from and why he would want to continue to do that gig at home with his team. Outside of that, Lucas is saying that they've got Devin Moran, Ricky Thornton, Jonathan Davenport, Brandon Overton. We'll stop at Brandon Overton real quick. So he drives the factory Longhorn car, and his results have been pretty underwhelming for what kind of equipment he has and what's going on. And a lot of folks have been saying that he's going to be out of that car next year, but everybody at Longhorn saying it's status quo and he's going to be in it, and everything points to that direction that he's going to stay in that factory Longhorn car. I just think it's interesting because you got Hudson O'Neal who drove the 6 Longhorn car. If you guys are familiar, that's essentially another Team Longhorn car. That's the one that Kyle Larson used to drive when he was running the late models. And Hudson goes out there and wins Thursday night at the dirt track at Charlotte. So I don't know. They're saying that he's going to stay there, and everything seems to be that way. So that could be something to look towards this coming season to see what the performance is like and if he's going to end up staying there or not. Garrett Alberson's going to be back with Lucas, Carson Ferguson, Clay Harris, Corey Lawler, Dan Ebert, Dalton Wilson. He was full time with Lucas Oil, and he stepped out of the JR Motorsports car. So he doesn't have a ride. He's looking for one. Josh Rice took that ride in the JR Motorsports car. He'll be full-time. And then you have Rookie of the Year Donald McIntosh. Took the, excuse me, took Rookie of the Year honors for Lucas Oil this past year, but then he left Billy Hicks Racing. Um, so he's looking for a ride now. So those are kind of the big notables. The World Finals this coming year will not be at Eldora. I had the notes in here, now I've lost it. The Lucas Oil,
Take your time. You're fine.
yeah, the Lucas Oil. Man, where's it gonna be? I think it's somewhere in Virginia. Um, except all events.
I thought the Joseph Joyner thing was pretty interesting because it really looks like they're making big changes over there. I don't know if they're downsizing their operation or if they're running out of money or what, but they sold their hauler, truck and trailer. Um, Jonathan Joyner has kind of stepped away from racing late models at all. He would occasionally get into the crate late model, and has now pretty much committed to modified. So I don't know what the story is, but if you're paying close attention to them, that's something that something going on there for sure. And I don't know if they want to focus more time on the Hunt the Front Super Dirt Series that they promote, or if they're just like I said, downsizing. They seem like they were on a real growth spurt there for a good long while, where they were buying new cars and getting engines and new haulers and all that. So I don't know if they seem to have backed away from that. Don't know why, but they're showing up with a dually and a little enclosed trailer, and running some of these big title races. So don't know. Well, I guess we'll find out as it goes on. The other rumor I've heard, and I don't know if it's going to be Lucas or World Outlaws late model, is supposedly Josh Richards is going to get back behind the wheel of the Rocket house car. I don't know if that's select races or if he's going to become the house driver again. I thought that was pretty interesting.
He raced a couple this past year. I think it was only two or three. But with that, so the Lucas Oil Finals will be at West Virginia Motor Speedway in Mineral Wells, West Virginia. And then the Joiners, like, they are essentially the Capital House car. So they did have Rockets, and then they went to Longhorn, and then now they've left Longhorn and they're the Capital House car. So
Well, and they were in Capital cars before they were in Rockets and Longhorns. I forget the owner of Capital at that time. His first name was Marshall. I don't remember his last name. Obviously, that's why you could see why I would remember his first name. But then he sold Capital. I can't remember who bought it. Big Racer, well-known name. And so he kind of retooled and rejuvenated. Supposedly made some pretty significant changes to that chassis design. And you're right. They are pretty much the house car for Capital now.
Yeah, and it's going to a Shane Clanton.
That's right. I see.
Shane Clanton.
You can't rely on me for information. My memory is like a Swiss cheese.
Shane Clanton and Chad Smith are the two. They own SCCS Solutions LLC, which is what they're under. Being the factory team for a chassis manufacturer has to be huge for them. So I can see why you wouldn't want to step away from that, because JCM Motorsports was running Rockets.
Yeah.
So if Joseph goes full-time Lucas Oil, it likely would have been to a Rocket. Probably started next year. I would assume it'd be the XR2. I know every time I seen the car, I took a look at right above the driver on the roll cage there, and it always said the XR 1.2. But now that the XR2s are out, I'm sure that every Rocket team will be out there with the XR2 chassis. You see what Brandon Shepard's been doing in them.
Well, in the house, being a house car team or a house car driver, it's a double-edged sword. Yeah, you get a lot of support from your chassis builder as far as tune-up and setup advice, and get to try out stuff before the general public gets it. But the downside is some of your stuff gets dictated what you can run, Longhorn and Bill Stein shocks. Remember that whole thing, and then the trying out new stuff is a double-edged sword. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And Kevin Rumley in this, the 6 car for Longhorn, he's kind of like the mad scientist, trying out all kinds of different stuff.
Yeah, well, he's running different shocks now. So he stepped away from Bilstein and is running a different shock package, and that's what's been on that 6 car. That one Hudson O'Neal raced at Charlotte this past weekend.
He's a very, very smart guy, and he's not afraid to innovate. So I'm sure they're always going to be trying something, along the R&D lines.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of which, if that race at Charlotte, sticking with Lucas Oil here, Hudson O'Neal won Thursday, Jonathan Davenport won Friday and Saturday, and Saturday night, Bobby Pierce got lapped.
Wow.
The Character 1000?
Yep.
Yeah.
Bobby Pierce got lapped on Saturday, and he gets out of the car and does an interview, and I don't remember his exact words, but he said, I got smacked in the ass and lapped, and then I got smacked in the face with confetti. because he won the overall points championship, so he, goes from finishing 18th a lap down or whatever it was to championship trophy.
Yeah, that track was rough.
Yeah, at first, the first videos I saw, I was like, is that an RC track?
Well, so that
or
was
is this AI?
That was the Short Track Super Series Championship 2 weekends ago. And then, so it didn't rain at all the week prior to the World Finals, and it was a much, much better track for the World Finals than what it was.
I mean, they typically have a very nice track there. It's just Mother Nature kind of gets you sometimes and leaves you some mud holes to dry out into ruts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell you a little bit about Mother Nature this yesterday and today here in God's country.
Yeah, how's that hoodie?
Yeah. It is 23 degrees here at my house right now.
Yeah, but your mortgage is only $700, so deal with it.
Yeah. All right.
The ups and downs there, sir.
Neil, give us some sprint car news.
So, been doing a little bit of research on High Limit, and there's not as much crazy stuff going on so far this offseason as I thought there was. So, obviously, we know that Rico is closing up his team and joining Tony. So, it'll be, the TSR 24. And then we had the... I know, riveting stuff, right?
Well, I heard...
Casey Kane's car became vacant at the awards banquet.
Yeah.
And they've announced that Dyson Parsley is going to be in that. Tanner Holmes looks like he's going to go to Busch Motorsports.
Yeah, that's confirmed, actually.
And then I got Baston most likely going to Stenhouse's car. That's all I could so far find that's, more or less confirmed, and nothing's confirmed until they hit the track. But all those look to be locked in. A lot of other guys still speculation, but not a whole lot moving, really.
The Smoke Rico deal really looks more like a merger than Rico going to Tony Stewart. It's I heard that during World Finals week, Tony Stewart's sprint car shop was had a garage sale, and they were selling off a ton of stuff.
Well, Rico already has proven running equipment.
Yeah. So it's pretty much Tony Stewart putting his name on Rico's team, and I think they're going to stick with Rico's equipment. Obviously, Rico's crew chief and his guys. So
I want to see why they would change equipment when it's unfortunately it's made for Rico.
Yeah. We talked about that, in the
with
past,
the truck series stuff
in the past podcasts. That Schnee Lawson, formerly Eagle, custom builds cars for Rico. They moved the A-frame forward 6 inches on that chassis.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's a petite little feller.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Let's go, Larson. Way to go.
Hey.
Yeah.
Called it. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, we both did. We both did.
Engrave his name on the trophy.
Yeah.
And,
but
your team.
Denny didn't fucking choke that one away.
No, that was a call, crew chief call.
his team
That put him in a spot. Yeah,
his team
that was a
did.
team loss.
But the thing is, that's kind of been the MO with Denny. For the past.
That was his seventh shot.
15 years is that they will find a way to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And a new one. They don't
and,
lose the same way twice.
Nope.
I felt like 4 tires was not the call, especially when you're leading the race. Go out there with 2 tires and make them come around you. It's a green-white checker. You only got to hold them off for 2 laps. And the other thing I think was when they had that restart, when he was on the inside lane and started 6th, I think. He did not
something like that.
He did not bomb down to the inside like Corey Heim did in the truck race, and really commit down there. And I think had he done that, he could have passed some cars. He kind of sort of went down there, but he didn't really go all the way to the inside wall like Corey Heim did. So I'm still going to put it on Denny. He had some things he could do in the car that could have possibly won the championship. But that the pit call was the kiss of death. You're on 4 tires, but there's so many cars in front. And I really think they kind of went with, you only had to beat Larson and Byron. Those are the only 2 cars that you had to beat. You didn't, Larson and Briscoe, right? Because Byron was out.
Yeah, because Byron took himself out.
Yeah. So, you're not racing the field. You're not racing for the win. You basically were racing Kyle Larson.
Neil has still got his mic muted. He's trying to talk to us.
All right, I'll figure this stuff out.
Yeah. It's only episode 55, Bub. Don't rush it.
Hey, new equipment. I've only had it 10 episodes. So, I think they were going for the win. All out, go for broke, win. That's why they went with 4.
There is no doubt about that.
He was their car that should have won.
Yeah.
Larson never led a lap, but he didn't win the race. He just won the championship.
Right.
And I think that was one thing that they lost sight of was we only have to beat Larson. They were going, we can win this thing.
Yeah.
And that's why they went with 4. Because the restart before, he had 4 tires versus 2 in front of him, and he passed 6 cars before he got to turn 3.
Yeah, but
on the opening lap.
On that same run, Larson had 2 tires and was moving forward. Maybe not as dramatically as Denny was, but he was moving forward, only taking 2.
Well, there's also something else to think of, too, is, with a green-white checkered, I didn't get to watch the race, but with a green-white checkered, it's a different dynamic than an earlier in the race put on 4 tires to 2 guys. The guys that with 2 tires, obviously, I didn't see it, but it's a different dynamic. They're not going to, we're halfway through the race or we've got this much time left. I've got 2 laps to get this done. It's, stick it or stick it in the wall.
And the other thing we predicted, and we didn't go out on a limb with this one because they've done it years past. They boned the winner of that race. I never even saw an interview with Ryan Blaney.
He wasn't.
Guy won the race.
Mm-hmm. Hey, it would have been Brad Keselowski. They go into turn 3 or 4, and I'm like, Brad's going to win this thing. Yeah. And then he, I think he sailed it off into 3 kind of deep because he thought Blaney was going to sail it in on him. And, of course, that made Brad slide up the track, and Blaney got through the center better. And
yeah, I wonder if Keselowski would have won, would they have interviewed him then? Because then it's a bigger story than Ryan Blaney winning.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Not there. Because they get to go to victory lane on the infield, and the championship's on the outside. Yeah. Or in the dogleg now. I didn't stick around for all the championship festivities. I hauled ass back to town.
You had to work.
But I was worried about Larson's car getting hit by Blaney because of Larson's burnout. He whited out the track. You could not see through the track as Blaney was doing his victory lap. I was like, this could get interesting. Be like the NASCAR Mexico safety car running into the wrecked car.
NASCAR has committed that there will be a different chase format for next year.
I hope it's a 3-race for the finale. hope it's a 3-race race-off.
That's what I'd put my money on.
I don't like the single race format.
I think it's going to be a full 10 race chase.
I'd like them to get rid of the mandatory cautions at the stages.
That's good. That's not going anywhere.
I
TV put that in, and TV's going to make that stay.
Yeah. I would
it's-
still like to see it go away because it takes the
Mhm.
strategy out of the race.
But it's Neil is right. It's a built-in
Oh, yeah.
schedule. It's a built-in scheduled commercial break for broadcast. So
Yeah.
that's
And
not
they get
going-
another restart that causes havoc.
Yeah.
But I think if you could do away with predictable cautions, your racing would get better.
Just
Yeah,
like
it's just
I have a massive problem with open reds. The only reason you should ever have an open red is oh crap, we've had 26 cautions. They're going to run out, 100%. That's the only time you should have an open red. It should not be a scheduled open red in any dirt track racing. The only time I've ever seen it when it made sense was in karts. When literally we were doing 100 lappers and the motor oil wouldn't last.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Put enough fuel in the car to finish the race, and if you can't run enough fuel in that cell to finish the race, well, you need a bigger cell.
Or you need to learn how to save some fuel.
Yeah. I agree with that. Well, that's how it is.
Yeah.
It didn't take us long to get off the dirt, so let's continue that vein. Phil, F1 being your specialty, Neilden, you're on probation right now. Let him speak.
All right, Mike's going mute.
Well, F1.
So did you see the freaking start?
You're such a dick with ears. Yes, I did see the start. But this past weekend's F1 race was pretty good. But we're not talking about the race yet. We're talking about the silly season, and there's not a whole lot of silly season going on in F1 right now. Pretty much all the drivers are locked in, but one team. And when I say team, the big team and their secondary team, which is Red Bull. Red Bull, Max is the only driver locked into a seat with Red Bull or the Racing Bulls right now. That has a lot to do with Yuki Tsunoda and Liam Lawson. Not Liam Lawson. Sorry, my brain went. Liam. Getting when they pulled him out of the primary car and moved Yuki up. Yuki has been out qualified every race, and so neither one of the Racing Bulls has a driver named for it. The number 2 seat in the Red Bull car is not named out yet, but everybody else. And I think that had a lot to do with the fact that there were multi-year contracts signed, and then drivers who were racing to extend their contract met the goals early in the season, and they all got their contract signed. Next year we do have Cadillac coming. I own F1. F1 has Cadillac coming in with Valtteri Bottas and Sergio Perez, and I know we've talked in an earlier podcast about this. Those are two experienced drivers. They were not looking for any young young blood to come up. I think the concept there is they signed those two to those contracts to give knowledgeable, well-metered feedback to the engineers and the team to be able to get those cars locked in as best as they can. Do I think Cadillac is going to come out of the box and be a team to reckon with? No, I think they're going to be a back of the pack, middle of the back of the pack team their first 2 years, but it'll be interesting to watch. And
so their
Red Bull
goal for year 1 is to finish in front of Stroll.
That's not going to be hard.
Yeah.
But on another note, if anybody watched a race this weekend, Gabriel Bortatello, 59G hit.
Oof.
Dude
That was
jumped
in
out
the
of the
sprint.
car. That was in the sprint. But hold on. Dude got on the radio, said, "I'm okay." Jumped out of the car, high-fived the medical crew, and sprinted from where the wreck happened back to the pit to show his crew he was okay.
Wow.
And when he went in,
That's how
the
you
track
know
was
his
wet.
marbles weren't okay.
Yeah, exactly. When he went in and he hit that where he went in on that turn, the car went up and there was a lip and he launched and he was airborne and went completely sideways into the barrier. And when I saw that, I was like, "Oh shit!" It was kind of honestly the way he went in and the way the front tires folded back. It had
I
reminiscence
think we
of
lost Phil.
Ayrton Senna's wreck
He'll be back.
when
Yeah.
F1 World lost Ayrton Senna. I was like, "Oh
I
shit!"
don't know how
And
you
then
survive a 59G
they
hit.
they quickly put
That
on
should kill you.
the radio call of him saying, "I'm okay," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay." But
We
yeah,
got
overall
And
it
you're
was a good
back.
race.
we got you back.
All right, sorry about that, guys.
No, we're
Uh,
no
That's
worries.
okay.
Hopefully the recording got it. But I'm going to call it right now. Max Verstappen, he's signed his contract. He's good to, I believe it's the end of 28. At the end of 28, Max Verstappen will not be with Red Bull.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but don't a bunch of drivers' contracts come up for renewal next year?
20. A lot of them signed extensions till the end of next year, but most of the lower level teams, the mid to back of the pack teams, and then the higher end teams are out to 20. I believe it's 27 and 28 right now.
Well, Lewis Hamilton
So-
only signed a 2-year deal with Ferrari, didn't he?
I think Hamilton's good to the end of 27. I'll have to double check that, but I don't quote me on that. But I think he's good to the end of 27.
Yeah, don't.
So is
rely-
it
don't rely
confirmed
on
that
me.
Max won't be with Red Bull, or just he doesn't have a contract past 28?
I think Max's contract is to the end of 28, and I don't think Max is going to re-sign with Red Bull.
Well, I
Why
think
would your speculation be?
Ferrari. That'd be my guess.
I'm going to go something different. Rumor has it Max and Toto Wolff have been talking. Mercedes.
And I could see that.
I think Ferrari would sell their soul to have Max Verstappen.
I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen unless Charles or Lewis, and I think Lewis would sign a contract just to keep Max out of that car.
I don't think you could put Hamilton and Max on the same team.
No, they'd kill each other.
Well, it'd be a Nico Rosberg, Lewis Hamilton.
They'd wreck each other just to wreck each other.
Yeah, I mean, it was there was no secret. There was no love lost between Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg, especially when they're running for the championship and Nico goes in and just smokes Lewis Hamilton. What was that? 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of no love lost and sticking with our off the dirt, it kind of came out this week that the Corey Heim, who just obliterated the truck field this year, and won the championship, that the reason why Joe Gibbs has not put him in a Xfinity or Cup ride is because Ty Gibbs.
Hold on, let me find my silver spoon.
Yeah.
It's around here somewhere.
Ty Gibbs is still butthurt over the feud that Corey Heim and Ty Gibbs had back in 2021 in the ARCA series, which it makes no sense to me. I mean, if you're truly the golden child and you're going to inherit Grandpa's company, then you should be looking to get the best driver you can. And really, I think Corey Heim's short of Connor Zilic, he's the best talent out there right now.
That speaks to maturity too. If that's what's going on, then Ty Gibbs is not. His maturity hasn't come up yet.
Yeah, the article I read that said 2025 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series champion Corey Heim is undoubtedly Toyota's top gun right now, especially when he brought home the series title when his Joe Gibbs Racing counterparts in the Cup Series failed to do so. So by all racing logic, pairing the 23-year-old phenom with Coach Joe Gibbs should be a no-brainer, but why hasn't it happened yet? As it turns out, the long-whispered rumors around the garage point back to Heim's infamous 2021 ARCA clash with Gibbs' grandson Ty, a widely known but rarely discussed tension that, according to a respected veteran's recent revelation, is still standing in the way. Heim has been on an absolute tear in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, dominating from start to finish. He captured both the regular season and championship titles, piling up and pressing 12 wins this season. His ability to excel on short tracks, road courses, and super speedways alike cements his status as Toyota's golden boy in the truck ranks, adding another regular season crown to his 2023 triumph. Yet here's the real mystery, that despite that scorching form and the never-ending Heim time, the youngster still doesn't have a full-time Xfinity or Cup Series ride lined up for 2026. And shout out to Tricon Racing, who Corey Heim drove for this year. That would be the former Paris racer David Gilliland-owned team. So, that makes no sense to me. It just, how do you have a driver that talented and you're not at least, putting him in something?
Hey, give it a year and
Yep.
somebody else will have him snatched up, Junior or somebody like that.
Well,
Doesn't Junior have an open seat?
yeah, I think
No.
he
Sure.
does.
No, he's got so they opened up the Xfinity, or I guess the O'Reilly series, to 10 races for Cup drivers to compete in. So he's going to have like a celebrity seat. But everybody else is supposed to be coming back, obviously, except for Zilich. Zilich is going to go drive the 88 in Cup, and that puts Van Gisbergen in the 97. But
Which I found out
all
is a
the rest
family
of
number.
Yep. Yep. So,
The thing is that okay, let's go back to the very few people remember this. Jeff Gordon was a Ford development driver. He was locked in and running Bill Davis cars, and Ford drug their feet moving Jeff Gordon forward, and Hendrick stepped in and said, I got a Cup ride for you, and I'll buy out your contract for Ford. So Ford lost Jeff Gordon. You could even...
Well, there was a lot of butthurt feelings over that, too.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of people who are still to this day butthurt.
Kyle Larson is another example of, they kind of drug their feet bringing him up. And, Chip Ganassi moved him forward, and he was stuck in, you got to call it what it is, substandard equipment at Chip Ganassi. He excelled because he's a great driver, but the equipment was garbage.
Well, without him, that equipment was never going to be 10 places further back.
Yeah. So I know the way Toyota does their development deal is Corey Heim has a signed contract with Toyota, not Tricon. So that I'm sure Toyota has him pretty locked down where he can't go to Chevy or Ford or now Ram.
Well, I think he was asking to get out of it.
Yeah,
wasn't he?
I think he wants out of the truck series and into Xfinity or Cup, which he should be. He's earned that. So a logical step is to put him in an Xfinity car for Joe Gibbs, because there's a ton of openings there, and they have good equipment. But because
Well, I could see. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Because grandson's butthurt, it doesn't happen, which I think is a terrible way to run a business.
Grandson needs to grow the F up.
Yeah.
Well, that's where I was just going with that. Is I could see if it did happen where he went to a Gibbs car, he would get, a C team car. He wouldn't be getting the A team car.
You mean like Gibbs did with Furniture Row, and basically stole Martin Truex by giving Furniture Row kind of crappy equipment, and Furniture Row out of business, and Truex came over to Gibbs.
Well, Furniture though Martin Truex actually won a championship with Furniture Row.
Right.
That was
And
the
the next
start of
year-
the downfall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, next year, Joe Gibbs went and said, well, because Joe Gibbs, Furniture Row paid Joe Gibbs to put that whole team together. Everybody knows that. Well, the next year when it came up, they won the championship, and because of the deal that happened with Truex's team, and I can't remember which other team it was for Joe Gibbs, where they had a tussle in the pits. The crew chiefs went at each other, and the teams went at each other. And Truex won the championship. Gibbs Racing came to Furniture Row and said, "Okay, well," and I don't know what the numbers were, but it cost you this much this year. It's triple next year for us to
Right.
put your program together. And Furniture Row said, "I'm out."
Well, and
I don't know what it was, but I mean, I don't know
remember-
the numbers I'm using. Yeah.
This is obviously just my opinion, but I think it's really because Gibbs felt embarrassed that his quote unquote satellite team was kicking his
Yeah.
team's ass on the track.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. His
And a team based out
development
of
team.
Denver, Colorado.
Yeah.
his development team.
Yeah.
You know,
Sticking with NASCAR, there's some interesting rumors about who's going to be going into the seat for the Colleague Racing Ram truck next year for the Craftsman Truck Series.
Are you going to talk about the 5th truck?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the very interesting names that are being thrown around is Tony Stewart and Casey Kane.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you, both names make a lot of sense. Tony Stewart has ties with Dodge and obviously Ram, related to Dodge, and so does Casey Kane. Casey Kane put Dodge on the map when they came into NASCAR the first time for Overton Racing, and obviously Tony's doing great things with the drag racing team he's got going. Not just his own driving, but his wife's and Matt Hagan. I'm sure they love what he's doing in drag racing. So I think putting him in a Ram truck for Colleague makes a lot of sense. And again, Casey Kane makes a lot of sense too.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the 5th truck's going to be part-time, what they feel like they want to run. They want to run Daytona, they want to run Martinsville.
Right.
I think it'll be up to the drivers where that truck shows up.
There's pretty much calling it an all-star truck, where they're going to have big names going there. But I really thought that was interesting because in the immortal words of Tony Stewart in 2024, I'm not going to own a team in NASCAR ever again. But he didn't say he wasn't going to drive.
No.
Right.
No. Yeah. And that was before Dodge threw a bunch of money at his way, possibly.
Yeah, and his wife's going back in the seat of the top fuel car next year. So, if anything, he's going to run a part-time schedule in NHRA or no schedule at all.
I think he already announced he's driving something next year.
Yeah.
I don't remember what level it is, but he's driving for another team next year.
Yeah.
As a driver.
He might go back into an alcohol dragster or, who knows?
Well, Force has nobody.
Oh, that'd be funny.
right? Force is retiring.
Well, Brittany retired, so basically John Force Racing is for lease.
Well, Brittany retired. Courtney's not racing, right?
No.
And
there's no Force
And John's out, yeah.
next year. There's no
Who-
Force scheduled to race.
Which one?
Well, and that team's not going to go away.
No. Brittany, Ashley, Courtney.
Yeah, but which one of them? Isn't one of them married to one of the drivers for Force Racing?
I don't know.
Former driver.
Sure.
God, what's his name?
Not Hagen.
Not Hagen.
Yeah, that guy.
Crew chief's son. I can't think of his name. Anyway.
Yeah.
He's that important.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't follow a lot of drag racing.
I catch highlight reels of it.
Yeah.
But really, anyone that wanted to come in to the top echelon, you can basically lease nuts to butts, top to bottom.
Come
of a
in with money.
championship team.
Well, we all
it's
called
gonna
it
take
with John
cubic
Force.
wheelbarrows.
We
That was the
we all
last
called it with John.
episode.
That last wreck he had, we all called it. I think I didn't say it on the podcast. I think I said in our chat, I was like, guys, this is probably it for John. He's probably going to call it.
Well, and that was such a massive wreck, and it really messed him up.
Yeah.
Like it scrambled his eggs pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what that's like, Phil.
Yeah.
And then in other, probably the biggest NASCAR news saved for last is the lawsuit that's going on between NASCAR and 2311 Front Row Motorsports.
Oh, some interesting emails are coming out.
And, well, not only that, some interesting judgments. So, NASCAR's contention almost from the beginning is that we're not running a monopoly because all these teams are free to race anywhere they want. We don't control that. So what they mean is they're free to go. They're free to go NHR racing or for F1 racing or IndyCar. We don't control it.
Dirt.
Yeah, go dirt racing. So we're not controlling it. Well, then they got a summary judgment that the definition of what 2311 and Front Row Motorsports is that NASCAR has a monopoly and an antitrust in what do they call it? How do they define it? The premier stock car racing. And they're right. There's no premier stock car racing without NASCAR because NASCAR owns Cup, Xfinity, which is what do they call it? O'Reilly next year, Craftsman Truck, and ARCA. So there is no premier stock car racing without NASCAR.
And they also own most of the tracks.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
once they bought ISN.
That's huge, bigger than big. That pretty much paints NASCAR in a corner, and they use NASCAR's own words and their own definition to paint them back into that corner. So that I think puts 2311 and Front Row in a
a strong spot.
Oh, majorly strong. Not even a little bit strong. It's like, oh yeah, you got them. They pretty much got them now. The ruling eliminates the NASCAR's argument that teams have other racing options, refocusing the case on whether the sanctioning body used its dominance to shut out potential competitors. Judge Bell's Tuesday ruling has only raised the stakes ahead of this December 1 trial, but the NBA legend Michael Jordan is not backing down. If I have to fight this to the end for the betterment of the sport, I will do that. In other words, he's going to go to the mat, and he's got the money to do it.
He's a billionaire with a B.
Yeah. And he's a fan of the sport, and I think he realizes that what they did for basketball by breaking up the antitrust monopoly, he can do it to NASCAR.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what comes out of that. Is it going to ruin NASCAR? Just that judgment.
Yeah, I mean, is it going to become an owner-controlled sport?
Well, NASCAR's doing a good job of ruining themselves.
Well, that's all fine and dandy. I mean, I don't think any of us want to see it go bye-bye, though.
Right. But
well, no, I don't want to. But NASCAR is on a path now where they are losing fans. They're losing fans at a massive rate.
Well, and if you look at going back to the NBA as an example, if you look at it now, it is a player-controlled sport. The players run the NBA. Not the coaches, not the team owners. It's the players, and I don't think for the betterment of the sport that having the players have that much influence. So I'm hoping that the same thing doesn't happen with NASCAR, where you give the teams ultimate control because they win this lawsuit, and now all of a sudden it becomes the teams running the sport, and by teams we're talking about Penske, Hendrick, Gibbs.
Mm-hmm. Well, 2311.
Yeah, which is Gibbs, as far as I'm concerned.
I don't know. After this, Mago, guess what, Grandpa? We put up the nut. What did you do?
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. 2311 and Front Row Motorsports. They put their dick up on the chopping block and said, here it is. We're putting it out there. Let's get this done. And every other team, Hendrick, Gibbs, Childress, they all said, "Oh no, we'll sign it." And the thing is, every one of them knew that this lawsuit was going to go on. So it's like, well, we can still stick it to NASCAR, but we don't have to be on the front on the firing line.
Well, I don't think,
not only that,
like Hendrick could afford to, not money wise, but face wise.
Right.
Well, not only that, but what's going on behind the scenes?
Well,
is NASCAR going to those other teams and saying, sign your shit and you'll get some favor from us? I don't know if that's happening or not.
Yeah.
This is a hypothetical question.
Well, they're probably going, come on, just sign this thing. Let's get this over with. Let's move on.
Well, and there's going to be a settlement. This is not going to trial. I don't see it happening.
Right.
Is 2311 and Front Row just going to look out for themselves, and get what they want out of it, or is it going to be something where they're going to, going to stick to their guns and actually get something that benefits the teams?
I think they'll try to benefit themselves in the long run, which will benefit the other teams.
Yeah. The thing is
but
it has to be sustainable from a racing point of view. You cannot, I don't care how rich you are, operate a team, whether it's a football team, a basketball team, a baseball team, or a NASCAR team. You cannot operate a team at a loss every single year. You have to be making some money somewhere. And
I think part of it is they don't want to have to rely so heavily on sponsors to be able to actually make a profit.
Yeah, I mean, because would Gibbs survive without the major backing they get from Toyota? Would Hendrick survive without the major backing they get from Chevrolet?
Well, we know they couldn't support the 18 car.
Right.
After Mars pulled out.
Right. Yeah, they even said it.
We can't get someone to sponsor you, and we can't afford to run you.
Right.
So that tells you how sponsor-centric it is.
Yeah, and it has been for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Probably 15.
And I mean, your local dirt track's no different. Yeah. They're just adding zeros on the end of theirs.
Yeah. Listening to Door Bumper Clear podcast, the Tommy Baldwin says it costs between $250,000 to $450,000 per race weekend to put a Cup car on the track.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, I mean, let's just look at the car itself. Let's say, even with it being reusable, we'll say 50% cost. It's $100,000 minimum for the car.
Yeah, without
then
an engine.
You have
that's a roller.
Yeah, and then you have all your over-the-wall guys, which is what, 11 now on pit road.
Yeah, I think so.
Plus your crew chief, which they're not cheap.
Yeah, engineers.
Plus your tire guy. Plus your engineers. Plus now all the data engineers that are back in Charlotte.
Right.
They have a radio communication between the pit box and the engineering team, F1 style, in Charlotte or at their home track. So you got 8 or 10 people there dissecting data.
Yeah, all your shop guys, your truck drivers,
Mm-hmm.
You name it.
So, I mean, you figure minimum on race day, not including the guys that are Monday through Friday, your Sunday guys, you probably got 30 guys actively working.
Yeah.
For each car.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, they're not cheap. I mean, you figure they all have to be making $20 an hour. Bare minimum.
20?
Bare minimum. I'm saying the lowest man on the totem pole is making $20 an hour.
Yeah, that probably doesn't even come close to scratching it, but I don't know.
Probably not.
I'd say that's the guy sweeping the floor in the shop. That's the guy sweeping the floor in the shop, making $20 an hour.
Well, I know this because I talked to a well-known spotter at Chili Bowl, and your spotters are pulling in 6 figures.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a spotter. That is not a guy who, spots and works in the shop, the rest of the week. That's a guy.
Well, most of the spotters doing side work around the office during the week.
Well, I know in this particular case, he has no other job but spotting. He shows up on usually Thursday, and he's back out leaving on Sunday night.
Now, is he spotting Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Like, is he picking up trucks and Xfinity and Cup?
I know in this particular case, he's picking up a lot of other racing. Like I said, it's just one spotter I talk to because I'm kind of have a friendly relationship with. But like, truck doesn't pay shit. I think they get for a race weekend. I think they get something like $1,500 to spot.
Yeah, it's not
truckers.
much. I remember that. But it was what? Bowman's spotter helps him in the race, his Bowman's Racing, and sets up all his shit for him to sign for all the die cast and the jerseys and all that shit for him.
Yeah. I know,
he's a PR guy.
I know Brett Griffin, who is a retired spotter now, was doing a lot of management of drivers, coaching of drivers, and putting together what they're calling activations, where at track events, where for sponsors, I don't know why they call it an activation, but it's an event where they're pumping up the sponsor of that particular car for VIP events, meet and greets and stuff like that. And so he did that, and built a whole business out of it, which I'm sure he's still doing. It's just he quit spotting.
Well, you just sat there and said that, for doing the truck series, they don't get paid shit. But I'm thinking about this for if all the person does is spotting, they go up there and what do they practice total 2-3 hours?
Hell, they don't even practice at a lot of these tracks.
Yeah. So and then the race is how long? A couple hours.
Yeah.
So he's getting paid $1,500 for, let's just say, 4 hours worth of standing up there calling it.
With $30,000 worth of equipment going up on the roof with him.
Yeah, yeah. But no, what I'm saying is it's. But then he's also, that's just truck. So
How
then
you
they
getting
pick
that
up.
high?
Every one of them carries 2 radios.
Okay.
They have the one that they're communicating. No, I take that back. 3 radios. One that they're communicating to the driver. One that they're communicating to the crew chief on channel 2, and a NASCAR radio. Then at least one backup radio.
Mm-hmm.
Those radios are not cheap. They're high end radios for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
At least one headset, and now they're doing some type of tablet or an iPad that attaches to the rail, and they're doing that. And then what's the fan scanner? Where they can sit there and scan other teams and stuff. Chargers,
Racing electronics.
Yeah. So all the stuff that goes on, and it's all high end stuff.
Yeah, and if they pick up 30 races a year, that's that pays for their equipment. So truck pays for their equipment for the year. Everything else is money in their pocket.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Spotters make good money. I would.
I mean, it's $1,500 is I'd invest. I would invest $30,000 to be good enough to sit up on a tower for 3 hours worth of work a week.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm just
saying,
saying,
get paid $1,500. I'd do it
compared to what they make in Cup. It's nothing.
Yeah,
but
it's all relative.
Yeah, it's a lot. That's a lot of travel.
It is.
Their weekend.
I don't know if I'd want to be.
Their weekends are cooked.
Hey, I used to leave for 9 months. I used to leave
anymore.
I used to leave home for 7 to 9 months at a time for a lot less money.
Yeah. What'd you say, Neil? Did?
I don't know if I'd want to be a crew member on a Cup team anymore at this point in life. To be gone that many weekends from my family.
Yeah, but if you were single and didn't have any kids,
100%.
Yeah.
Well, Neil, if you had your family back in North Carolina where the shop was, and you were gone for 2 days every weekend for 36 weeks, I mean...
Yeah, if I was gone for the weekends only, it'd be one thing.
Yeah.
But then add in the 12, 14-hour shop
8
days.
8 to 5, or 8 to 8, or whatever, Monday through Friday, and I'm gone the weekend.
I mean, look at what we do. Look at what we did in just our local track racing. I mean, we would spend all day long until 11, 12 o'clock at night chasing a 32nd of an inch.
Well, you were chasing 32nd of an inch. Me and the other were chasing 16th.
We were over it at a 16th.
Anybody know how Shane did at Paris?
No. If he were on the show, he could tell us.
Yeah, but he won't show up to this. Yeah, his last post on Facebook is, "PP time doesn't always make poo-poo time. Poo-poo time is always PP time." Shane Sexton. That was his latest Facebook post. Yep. Hey, thanks for keeping us updated, Shane. We appreciate it.
Before we get too far away from NASCAR, did you guys see that Hendrick is going to field a full-time O'Reilly car with Corey Day in it now?
Wow.
No, I missed that one.
Yep. The 17hendricks.com car is going to be full-time O'Reilly's with Corey Day in it.
Didn't Caruth get moved up too?
I don't know
from
who's
trucks?
driving for it.
I
Junior,
thought I saw
isn't
something
it?
where he was getting moved up.
I think he's.
Didn't he drive for
To
Junior?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
He's going to Junior. Yeah. So maybe Hendrick.com goes over there too. Speaking of, I need a Suburban. I need to go on Hendrix.com and check them out. At least give them the traffic.
Is it still Jimmy Johnson Chevrolet in
No.
San Diego? Yeah.
No. Me and Josh talked about it on the way. I think there's only one driver that still has their own dealership. 'Cause it used to be if you were driving, you got a dealership with your name on it. You didn't necessarily own it, but a dealership had your name on it back in the day.
Well, I knew people.
But I think there's only one person that has one.
I knew people who worked at Jimmy Johnson Chevrolet, and they said that was Rick Hendrick all the way. It just was Jimmy Johnson.
It just said
name.
Jimmy Johnson on it.
Yeah.
Because they're all Hendrick dealerships that he just put their name on in their hometown. And I guess that's kind of stopped. I think Bowman had one, but that was it.
You mean there's no Kyle Larson Chevrolet up in Roseville or?
I don't know, maybe. But Jimmy Johnson is going to race the Cup race in San Diego.
Who's going? By raise of hands, who's going? Phil, I got a ticket if you make your way out here.
When is it?
June
19th to the
12th?
21st.
There you go.
I don't think I'm going to be able to make that.
Don't say I didn't try.
I know,
Guys,
I know, but I don't.
can make it out here.
Well, I think unless somebody else has something else, then I think that brings us to a close.
Yeah.
I had some, but I forgot what it was.
Isn't Alzheimer's terrible?
Halfheimers. I only remember half the shit half the time.
So I actually wrote this stuff down so I could admirably fill in for John. Our socials are on Facebook. We are Dirty Sliders. Instagram, we're at Dirty Sliders. Dirty dot sliders.
Dirty dot sliders.
X, which I'm forever going to call Twitter, is at Dirty Sliders. Patreon, just search Dirty Sliders, and please, reach out, give us a little support. You guys have been doing fantastic. The videos have been doing better than they ever have. Tell a friend, telephone, telegram, whatever, get some more interest going on our episodes. We would really appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell us what we did wrong. Tell us how stupid we are. We don't care. If we ever gave you the impression that we give a fuck about our haters, I apologize for that.
We support our haters.
Yes, we do. Some of those
Especially when
comments
they
are
drive
pretty
traffic.
funny.
Oh, yeah. So, good night,
So next
everybody.
big race is going to be what? Chili Bowl?
No, Thomas is going to be racing
Thomas.
Oh, that's right.
Western Worlds.
The duel at
And-
Mojave.
And I'm running the Snowbirds in February.
I said big race.
Yeah, but
It is a big race.
I'm starting
No,
to get
it's about
hype
this
for
big.
Chili Bowl in January.
Yep, I'll be duel at Mojave. I'm probably going to go watch the last weekend of the Wild West Shootout and go hang out with Mr. Garrett Alberson. Then we'll race for 2 weeks after that at Central Arizona for Winter Nationals. But I think the Wild West is going to be going on the same time as Chili Bowl, so we might be seeing some inside shorts from both late models and midgets in that same week.
So I challenge anybody listening that if you are going to make it out to Chili Bowl, reach out to me. I probably have a bedroom available at our Airbnb. We generally get a house, and it's me and Bobby, so we have one bedroom, and there's at least one or two depending on which Airbnb we end up getting.
I'm getting closer to be able to make it.
The last one I got was a easy 10-minute walk from the facility. So you could stumble drunk back to your Airbnb, no problem.
Oh, I need to get you an electric scooter and a video camera.
That'd be funny shit.
Yeah, especially when you eat shit.
He's in the geriatric point. He might break a hip, and then we'd have to shoot him.
I'll still watch it.
Fuck
I'll
every
put it in
single
slow
one of
mo. Oh,
What?
Phoenix, bring back Walmart, damn it. Some bullshit. The Walmart was gone from the campground.
you. All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Good night, guys.
Later.